Come on, you already know, man. I'm so hood. I'm always in the hood. What do you do for your hood? What you doing for your brother? Yeah. Huh? Look, been the father figure before I had my little man. I taught some how to ball, some how to throw their hands. When I was young, hung with the older crowd, I was advanced. My money was long, and plus I had a bit. I teach my kids all the time, there's no one to fit except the man upstairs, so we ain't never scared. You ride for him, and he'll ride for us. And only God can judge, so in God we trust. I'm a father figure to many, big brother to some, uncle, cousin, best friend, enemies, here I come. Here I come. I keep my enemies close like I supposed to. So if they front, my crew know who to put the toast to. I'm a father figure to many, big brother to some, uncle, cousin, best friend, enemies, here I come. Here I come. I keep my enemies close like I'm supposed to. So if they front, my crew know who to put the toast to. Admire my brothers, keep to a certain extent, long as my brothers ain't doing no dumb. I ride for my nieces and nephews and cousins, little sisters, my princes, just try to stay focused.
And we live. It's the AMF show, aka the Almighty Force show. I'm your host, Coach J Vaughn. and we are lit. I have a very special guest with me today, legendary hooper, my sis. Before I introduce her, I'm just gonna give you guys some updates. Real quick. If you are watching this on my live, to see the entire interview, you must go to Bars and Hoops on YouTube TV, or you can go on Facebook. If you want to hear the audio, go to barsandhoopsradio.com or download the app, the free app, Bars and Hoops Radio. Now for the updates. We are in our 5th week with our mentoring program. Every Saturday at Middle School 226, we welcome all young people to come be a part. We still have openings if you are interested. As for our youth development basketball program, we are in session. We're in week 3 of our training camp. We have one more day of training camp before we start the actual league. So we're not taking any signups anymore, but we do have a wait list for those who's interested. Now I want to shout out our sponsors. Shout out to Hillside Toyota. If you're interested in purchasing the vehicle, hit up my boy Sal, tell him I sent you. Shout out to Storytime Daycare. If you're interested and you're looking for daycare in Queens Village, contact me and I'll put you in contact with the person who runs it. That's one of our sponsors as well. Shout out to my dog Stills, Pop and Tiny, and the rest of the Bars and Hoops family. Shout out to everybody that's tuned in on the movement. Now for my special guest, our Queens legend.
What's up?
just real quick, just let them know who you are. You know, legendary Slink.
I am humble, so I don't call myself legendary, but I guess I am legendary.
You are very legendary.
Born and raised in Queens, New York. I started playing basketball at the age of 15, which is kind of old. I played at Syracuse University, where I became the all-time leading scorer and rebounder. That is no more. My record has been broken.
Mm-hmm.
I played professional for 8 seasons. I played in, can't remember. I played in Puerto Rico, Spain, France, Poland for 3 seasons. Ukraine, which was interesting. Australia, Angola. Am I leaving out a country? I think that's it. I've been around. So sometimes I forget, but I've been to many different countries.
It's so good.
After that, I started my own academy called Slinky Academy. It kind of took a pause since the pandemic. However, the goal is to pick it back up. Which is basically a mentoring program for young girls and also a training program and different camps and basketball events.
That's fine.
I'm currently an athletic director at a prep school in New Jersey, and I'm a mom.
That's what's up. Legendary, like I said.
Yeah.
All good. So one of the first things I ask before I actually kick off the interview is if you had to describe yourself using one word, what would the one word be and why?
That's a good question. I would say resilient.
Okay.
Yeah, I work hard for whatever I have. And I've been through a lot to get there. And I think in what I've been through, my experiences traveling without my family and really having to navigate and be independent without them, I built a sense of resilience. So I would definitely say resilience, hence why I have this diamond on my tattooed on me, to remind me that I am strong and I've been through a lot. And in order to navigate through it, I have to be resilient and continue to work for what I want. So I'll say resilience.
Nice. Okay. That's dope, man. I got a segment that's called 21 Questions, where I ask you 21 questions, kind of rapid fire. And,
Okay.
And you'll respond in the least amount of words as possible, a single word.
Okay.
But if you need to elaborate, you're more than welcome to.
All right.
And it's kind of like an icebreaker.
Okay.
We talk a little bit about music and entertainment, and then the primary, which is basketball.
Got it.
All right, let's start it. So, favorite rap artists of all time, if you have one.
All time. Wow. Biggie Smalls or Jay-Z? Okay.
All right. Favorite rap album, if any.
Illmatic.
Dope.
Well, and it's funny, I didn't even mention not as one favorite, but Illmatic was fire.
All right. Favorite R&B artist or group of all time.
All time. Does Drake count as an R&B artist?
Yes.
I like Drake. I like his diversity, his mix in different types of music. Yeah. But I like him R&B wise for some reason.
Okay.
I can't think of a favorite group.
Okay.
I'm sure I have one. That rapid fire gets to me. I can't.
Okay. How about favorite R&B album, if any?
I don't think I have a favorite one.
Okay. What song you listening to and repeat currently? Like you're playing it.
Twin, where have you been?
Yeah.
What's her name? That song is fire. It's all over social media.
Yeah, they running that one up.
Yeah.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite artist of this era, like any genre?
I like Burna Boy.
Burna Boy's tough.
Chris Brown.
Of course.
Yeah.
Breezy. Of course. Top 2 favorite basketball movies.
Loving Basketball. He Got Game.
Okay. All right. Favorite TV show?
Sisters.
All right. What's your favorite pro, college, or high school basketball team to watch of all time?
Pro college, Syracuse, always and forever.
Right.
NBA, professional as well. I like the Warriors, but I also like whatever team Kevin Durant is on.
Okay.
I kind of mirror his game. I monitor his. I feel like I play like him. So whatever team he's on, I enjoy watching.
Fine. All right. Which is the next question. If you had to pick a player that your style of play, KD, that 100%. Makes sense. That makes sense. Do you have and he would be a favorite basketball player currently as well, or do you have someone else in mind?
My favorite basketball player currently is Shai Gilgeous.
Okay.
He's tough.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he's really good.
Yeah, he peaked. He might be the best player in the NBA right now.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That's how I feel.
I like Edwards.
Yeah, he's a clutch player. Who?
I like Edwards.
Okay. He's a good talent too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I'm agreeing with you on that too. Like he is one of those guys.
It's tough.
For sure. Because he's doing it with
a young talent. Yes. He has a lot of young talent.
Yeah, on his team, they're like the youngest team in the league.
Yeah, he's getting it done.
Yeah.
I'm impressed.
That's what's up. Your best year of your what year would you say is your best basketball? What year would you say is your best year for your basketball career? I'm
gonna say my senior year at Syracuse. I broke multiple records, so I think that's notable. Also my pro career, I would say France. Okay. I played against a lot of WNBA players, so it was like playing in the WNBA.
Nice.
Really competitive league. So gave you 2 years.
Yeah, dope. Career high in points.
Like average or just a game?
A game.
46.
46.
Yeah.
Where? When?
It was in Spain.
Okay.
Playoff game.
Wow.
And we won by 2 points.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was big for me because it was an important game. In Spain for playoffs, it's best out of 3 series, so you got to win 2 out of 3.
Okay.
We were down it was 2-1. So we
Wow.
had to win it
Yeah.
to stay alive. And we ended up winning that whole round. So that was
That's
incredible.
dope.
Yeah.
All right. So it's a lot of points, man.
You know, like
All right. Throughout your basketball journey, who was your favorite coach to play for?
I'll say Joe Asher, my high school coach.
Okay.
Even after high school, we always stayed in touch.
Nice. All right. Most skilled teammate you ever played with?
Skilled teammate. Wow. Angel McCautry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Favorite teammate?
Shanice Johnson. She's sitting in here right now. Always and forever will be my favorite teammate.
Dope. Who was the most skilled player you ever competed against?
Maya Moore. She scored 40 on me.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I'll never forget. It was a tough game. They beat us by a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Maya Moore played for UConn.
Okay.
And I had to guard her, and she was tough.
Yeah.
Tough.
Tough
Skilled
color.
player.
Yeah.
Yeah. Much respect to her.
Okay. Favorite basketball tournament to play in growing up?
Oh, that's a great question. Growing up, Slam Jam was big.
Yeah.
At Riverbank State Park.
Okay.
That was a fun tournament. West Fourth was always fun as well.
Yeah.
It's still happening for Unlimited.
Yeah.
But yeah, growing up, those were two big ones.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Some of your hobbies?
I like to read.
Okay.
I'm boring.
What you reading? What you reading right now?
A book from Warren Buffett. I can't remember what's the name of the book.
Don't worry, I'm gonna find out because
it's a Warren Buffett book,
too.
And it's really informative. It just really talks about his coaching career, how he coaches players. I also coach at the school that I work at, so I take some lessons from him. Like, he was the greatest, I believe. So,
dope.
A lot of life skills, some Bible verses, really help you navigate throughout your life.
Okay.
So it's amazing, but I can't remember the name of it though.
Really?
I'll get it for you
because I need that. I mean,
I can look it up. I mean,
I'm into that
kind
of stuff. Yeah. All right, so that concludes our 21 questions.
Oh, okay.
All right, so now we're gonna get into the history of you. I mean, like, you pretty much elaborated a little bit. You spoke a little bit at the beginning of your journey, but we want to dive into it to so that people could really get an understanding of who we dealing with, what kind of legend who's sitting in the room. I mean,
okay.
How'd you get the nickname Slinky?
My frame, my body, tall and skinny, clumsy at the time. I was really clumsy.
Yeah.
And I got it in high school. I think my friends gave me that name.
Okay.
And I just ran with it. It got to a point where a lot of people don't know my real name, which is kind of discouraging. But yeah.
Okay. What schools did you attend elementary through high school? Like, just if you can remember.
Elementary, I went to. First, I started off at St. Anthony's.
Okay.
You know where that's at? Yes. On 130th?
Yeah, right there.
I was there for kindergarten and first grade. And then I went to PS 100 on Lefferts.
Yeah.
226.
Okay.
And then I started off at August Martin High School, but then I left my junior year to go to prep school in North Carolina first. Patterson School. And then I finished my high school at Notre Dame Prep in Massachusetts.
Okay.
Then went to Syracuse University.
All right, cool. How'd you get introduced to the sport? Like, who introduced you to it? What made you fall in love with it? Like, when did that start? I remember you said something around 15.
It's so funny because I thought I was the nicest player. I played basketball for fun before high school, but I started really playing seriously in 10th grade. Coach Joe Asher, rest in peace to him. He saw me in the hallway and he said, I'm tall, I have long arms, I have long legs, I should play on the team.
Okay.
I thought I was nice before. So I'm like, all right, I'll play.
Right.
My friends at the time, Shanice and my other friend Jessica, I used to play with them and they used to beat me. They used to beat me. I'm not gonna lie. I'll give her that. And they used to laugh at me because I thought I was nice. But I really wasn't that nice. But I started playing 10th grade with Joe Asher. And I just started practicing every day to the point I got so good. I guess I can say I was a fast learner and I'm naturally athletic.
Right.
I got really good to the point where I was better than all my friends. I don't care what they say. And it was a fun time. I really got good throughout my high school years.
So I was gonna ask, like, did you have a trainer or somebody, like a skill developed person, or this is all your work?
I did not have a trainer.
Okay.
I practiced in high school, and then I played in Brooklyn for Coach Lakeisha Smith, Miss Smith. And she, I guess you can say she was a trainer. She was my coach outside of high school. So like my summer team, I played out on a local team.
Yeah.
And I practiced a lot with her.
Okay.
And she really helped develop me. So I guess I can say she was somewhat of a trainer.
Nice.
But when I tell you I got good. Like it was scary for me.
Right.
Rebounding, jumping, I could possibly dunk if I really wanted to. Like jumping really high, just super athletic.
So
yeah. So that was fun times.
okay. What was the name of that team, if you can remember? What Coach Smith you said?
Yeah, Coach Smith. I don't remember the team.
Okay. Oh god. But it was based out of Brooklyn.
We practiced at IS 270 down the block from the BRC or 275.
Yeah. 275.
Faithfully after school. Sometimes Coach Ash would drive me there.
That's big time.
Yeah.
That's big time. He wanted you to be really good.
I don't even think he cared. He was just so supportive.
Yeah, that's dope. You don't get that. Coaches are stingy with their players.
Awesome. He was amazing.
Coaches are not doing that these days.
Yeah, he was great.
All right,
he was a great coach, a great person overall. Even after high school and in college, I always communicated with him.
Yeah.
He was an excellent person.
That's dope.
Yeah.
That's dope. Let's how'd you pick your high school? Like how did that work?
Like I said, I started playing basketball in 10th grade.
Right.
So it was a zone thing. It was definitely a zone thing. Lived close to Rockaway Boulevard, get on the Q7, and I get to August Martin. But had I played basketball before high school, I probably would have went to Bergstrom.
Okay. Yeah, that was like the powerhouse.
Yeah, or Francis Lewis.
Okay.
Because those were like big basketball schools.
Yeah.
I had the opportunity to transfer to Bergstrom my 11th grade year, but I didn't want to leave Coach Ash. Like he was just such a great person in my life. I just felt like I would be like doing the wrong thing by just disowning him, I feel like.
Right.
So it was no way I was leaving him. But
That's dope. What kind of student was you in high school?
Because
you went to August Martin. I went to August Martin.
Yeah.
And my August Martin experience was very different.
I mean,
it was very different.
I can say this: basketball motivated me to be a model student.
Dope.
Prior to basketball, I was not.
Got it.
I struggled in my classes. I didn't take it serious.
Mm-hmm.
It got to a point where when I did join the basketball team, I had to redo classes or I had to make up a lot of work in order to be eligible.
Got it.
So school wasn't my focus.
Okay.
Unfortunately, but basketball really shifted my mindset to focus, because if not, I won't be able to play. I'll be ineligible. So
it's safe to say, like, the peer pressures that young people dealt with during that time, basketball was the thing that
was my motivator.
Got it.
For sure.
Got it. Like, when did you start thinking about playing college ball throughout that high school experience, or was it even a thought during that time?
I didn't even know if it was possible before playing, but when I started playing and I got so good, I gained so much recognition. College coaches would come into my games. Then I started playing AAU. The team, by the way, was the Angels. Coach Smith's team was the Angels.
Okay.
And then Walter Welsh found me. I played at a local tournament. I think it was Slam Jam. Walter Welsh he was coaching the Gauchos at the time. He saw me. He was like, "You should come play with the Gauchos."
Yeah.
I started playing with them for a short time. I was picking up recognition from University of North Carolina, big time schools. And then I went to play with Exodus.
Yeah, that's one of the program.
Yeah, I played with Epiphany Prince, Kia Vaughn, Angela Barrett, Erica Morrow, which also I played at Syracuse with. We were one of the top teams in the country.
Right.
So then I started getting recognition from all these schools. I had over 250 letters from colleges.
Wow.
So it started to really. I was surprised. But
so quick, would you say?
Yeah, 2 years pretty much.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. So you said from August Martin you go to a prep school in I think North Carolina. You said first. Which school was that?
Patterson School.
Patterson School. Okay. So what was the experience like there?
It was great. I played alongside Angel McCautry, which is in the WNBA. currently she owns a few ice cream shops. Like she's
Nice.
really she's an entrepreneur.
Dope.
So I played against some really great players that are currently playing pro.
Yeah.
That was a great experience, and it was mainly because of basketball.
Yeah.
And I was still kind of getting in trouble at August Martin,
Yeah.
even though my grades were better.
Yeah.
So it was best for me to leave August Martin
Yeah.
and really focus on basketball because it was taking me so far.
Right.
Like,
right.
A 2-year transformation. It was amazing.
That's
So,
dope.
Yeah.
All right. So after you attend this school, you go to another prep.
Yeah.
Which
Notre Dame Prep in Massachusetts.
Okay.
And that's only because my coach that was at the pageant school, which was also affiliated with Exodus, he moved to Massachusetts.
Okay.
That school. So I kind of like moved with him.
Got it.
He was kind of like my guardian.
Got it.
So yeah, so I moved with him at Notre Dame Prep, where I played with some other greats. And those were good times.
Right.
Yeah.
So you have all of these like letters from different colleges and stuff like that. What made you decide to go to Syracuse? Like what had you sold on going there?
I mean, Syracuse needed me as opposed to wanting me. I had colleges that just wanted me. They had the talent. They had players of similar position as me. So I knew if I would have went to one of those schools, I probably would have been on the bench for the first 2 years. I knew at Syracuse I can make an impact right away.
Immediately.
I gained a lot of support from my AAU coach to go there. And I think it was the best decision I've made.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agree. And you went in and you went right to work.
Right to work.
Let's talk about your freshman year a little bit.
Oh yeah, sure. That was fun times. I came into Syracuse my freshman year, and as a freshman, I averaged more points than any player on my team. And it was funny because Coach Q, that was my coach. I used to love Kit Kats.
Okay.
So we used to get like pregame meals and stuff like that. We would charter, so we get on charter planes. So we would have like different like snacks and meals and stuff. So Coach Q would tell every player to give the Kit Kats. Every player that had Kit Kats to give me all the Kit Kats. She gets all the Kit Kats.
Right.
And usually as a freshman, you kind of like a water boy or I would say a water girl. You carrying bags. Like you know, because the older players, they try to.
Right.
But it was the opposite. Like I was scoring a lot of points.
Right.
I hope they don't kill me if they're watching this, but it's facts.
Yeah.
You know, so they would give me all their Kit Kats and carry my bag today.
Right.
So like my freshman year was a impactful year. Prior to going to Syracuse, they had a 9-24 record.
Wow.
It's really bad.
Yeah.
So with me starting there, I'm not saying I turned everything around, but it was a big change and it was fun.
Yeah.
I averaged a lot my freshman year. I think I finished my freshman year with over 600 points, which was big.
Big time.
And then after that, a bunch of my AAU teammates followed and came to Syracuse, and then it became one of these schools that would bring in top recruits. So
nice.
I guess I can say I started something.
Yeah, you started.
I'll take the credit for it. Why not?
You got to take the credit for it, man.
Yeah, for sure.
You went over there and did some amazing things.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
So let's talk about. We're going to talk about the whole experience. I mean, we talked about the freshman year. What happens your next year?
We got a lot of talented players that come in the next year. So we get to a point where we're ranked in the country now. We're top 20 in the country, I believe. We make it to the tournament. Legendary. It was a fun year, my sophomore year. It got to a point my sophomore year, I wasn't even the main player.
Okay.
Because we had a lot of big time players. Erica Morrow, Chandrea Jones. They came in and those are players that were averaging 20 points a game. Like it was crazy. So we became like a really good team.
Okay. And
then going my junior and senior year, it was the same. Like we just got really, really good.
Yeah. Cause I saw like it was twice within your time there. You scored a lot of points in the season.
Yeah, I get it done. That's
big
work.
time.
Yeah.
I mean, there's not a lot of people that can say that. You know,
natural scorer, and to have more other teammates that was scorers,
that's big time. And then you racked up on rebounds. It's getting blocks. Like
I think my rebounding got better and I rebounded more because we had so many more scorers on my team. So I
Okay.
had to get my points as the rebounds at one point. I had to
Makes
just
sense.
run and get whatever they missed, and I
Right.
rebound and just put it up. So yeah,
Makes sense. Makes
Yeah.
sense. Okay. All right. So you do 4 years, Syracuse. All
4
right.
years.
You graduate.
Mhm.
What's the next step?
I played in Puerto Rico, I believe.
Okay.
That was my first year, my first professional year in Puerto Rico.
How many years? Sorry to cut you off. How many years would you say you played professionally altogether in total?
8 years.
8.
Mm-hmm.
That's a nice long career.
Yeah. So I played mostly overseas. I did not get drafted in the WNBA, which was unfortunate. I did have a training camp for Detroit Shock.
Okay.
I didn't make the team, which is also unfortunate. Back then as well, there weren't, it was not a lot of opportunities.
Mhm.
At the time, Syracuse was not like a high profile school as opposed to if I came out of Tennessee or like Georgia or Duke or
Right.
UConn.
Right.
So, you know, the odds were against me. So
Gotcha.
I knew I had to work 20 times harder to make it
Right.
on a WNBA team.
Yeah.
Now it's a little different. Syracuse is up there now. Like,
It is.
shout out because of me.
Yeah. You put them. You put them up there on the map.
Yeah, they're big time now. So, you know, that's probably not the same case. So that's good.
How hard was the transition from high school to college? Was it tough, or did you adjust like immediately?
I adjusted immediately because prep school helped me.
Okay.
So it was kind of like adjusting from August Martin High School to prep school, which was training me to prepare for college.
Okay.
It was a totally different level. Now, like I said, I was playing at prep school. I was playing with players that were already on the college level that were just super good.
Yeah.
So I was fighting to get better. I was fighting to develop and improve. So once I got to college, it was easy. Like I said, my freshman year, I was like the top scorer on my team.
Right.
It was easy. The transition was smooth.
Dope.
I'm not gonna lie though. Preseason workouts was tough for me at Syracuse.
Talk about it a little bit.
I remember
because that's one of those
it's
transitions.
Funny I remember these stories. So yeah, I mean, I was able to handle it, but it was tough.
Yeah.
I remember one practice, we had to do 17s, and we had to do it in like a minute. And this was after I did 7s, 10s, 15s.
All right, so real quick, for those who don't know what that is, like if you could describe it for them.
So 17s, I'll just say with 17s, it's basically running from baseline to baseline in college. Usually it's sideline to sideline, which is cool.
Yeah,
so,
it's sideline to sideline.
But in college, it's starting from the baseline, running to the opposite baseline.
That's the whole length of the court. Yeah.
Coming back 2, 3, 4. You keep going until you get to 17. And you got to do it in a minute. At Syracuse, we had a minute to get it done. Jeez. In my first few weeks, yeah, that was rough.
Had to be.
That was wow. That was traumatic. Yeah.
But you pushed through.
I pushed through. I got it done.
Yeah, you pushed through.
I got it done. Like I said,
it became routine.
It became routine.
Okay.
It became routine.
Nice.
But it's tough. It's tough. College,
so I wanna ask you, like what was a week like in your shoes on in college in terms of managing classwork, practices and basketball games? Just give me like a full week of what it was like in your shoes.
A full week. So do you want me to give you like a day schedule and then?
Yeah, that works.
Okay. So my first practice would start at 5:30 a.m. And that's because most of my teammates, they had classes at different times. So the best time that we can all come together is 5:30 a.m.
5:30 a.m.
in Syracuse. Snow is covering your car at 5:30 a.m.
Right.
So I'm up at 4:30 getting ready for practice.
Right.
After my first practice, I would go to class. I usually have 2 classes before my second practice, which would start around 1 o'clock. 1 to 3. So we would have 2 practices a day.
2 practices a day.
After practice, we would have, they call it team meal.
Mm-hmm.
So we would eat together, and then we would have tutoring to get our work done. So my life was basically from the gym to the classroom, back to the gym, to the tutoring hall, sleep, and probably at 9, 10. Hopefully, I'm hoping I can get to sleep at 9 and 10 so I can have hours to wake up at 4:30 and do it all over again.
Wow. And I ask questions like that because a lot of young people, they tap in and they're, you know, middle school, high school, and they plan on walking the walk.
They
So
have no idea.
I just kind of want them to know what they're walking into.
Yeah,
you know
it's important. It's important for them to know. I mean, the earlier to know, they
so
know
they could
the better.
possibly prep for it.
So they can prep for it.
Cool. All right, let's talk about some of your achievements real quick. I mean, like you touched on it briefly, but just talk about it. I mean, like 500 points, over 500 points, over 600 points twice throughout your college career. Almost 1,000 rebounds.
Over 1,000.
Over 1,000 rebounds.
Yeah.
Okay. Big East, All-Freshman. Jew's first team. Like talk about that a little bit.
At the time when I was playing in the Big East, there were schools, UConn, Notre Dame, Louisville. There was 16 of the, I would say, top basketball schools in the country. Right. It was just a really hard league to play for. I was playing against players like Maya Moore, Angel McCartry, Epiphany Prince, Tina Charles. Like, these are greats that all play in the WNBA now. And it was a battle playing against these players night in, night out.
Right.
And I was scoring. I had years where I broke my year record. So my freshman year, I had scored over 500, close to 600 points, which is big in the Big East because it's hard. It's just hard overall to score in that league against those top players.
Right.
My freshman year, I was Big East All-Freshman team. I think I got robbed a few of my achievements because I played against players like Tina Charles, these big time players, and they will always get it over me, and I always felt some type of way. But it is what it is. Like, these players were just that great. For me to even be on that level with them was just amazing. So I worked hard for my achievements.
Definitely did, man. You did great, man. You did great. You put on for the town. And we appreciate you. You're our neighborhood hero.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, for sure. What's the best advice you received from any of your coaches, if you can remember?
I've received so much.
Like whatever comes to mind. If you could share one or two, something.
Wow, you put me on the spot here. I remember my coach will always say to me, hard work beats talent if talent is not working hard. That was a motivator for me because there were moments where I felt like I was just talented and I didn't need to work as hard. But it's an eye opener. You have to keep working, no matter how good you are as a player. You always got to keep working to perfect your craft. You should never take shortcuts, which is another thing. I'm trying to think of one more outside of basketball, like a life skill. You're gonna have to get back to me on that one.
Nah, that's fine.
Yeah, you put me on the spot there with that one.
That's fine. Throughout your basketball journey, is there anything that you wish you may have done differently?
No, I think my journey is my journey. I think that's the journey God wanted me to take. It was a tough journey, but I think it was amazing. I think it was the best time of my life, starting at the age of 15 and concluded at 26, I believe. No, I wouldn't change it. I honestly, I can't even look back to think about if I would change anything. No.
I got a question on the Graham. They want to know if you played under Coach Hillsman.
Coach Q. Yeah.
Coach Q.
Quentin Hillsman. Yeah, that was my coach at Syracuse. It's a legendary coach. He's a great guy.
Dope. Okay. How you feel about women's basketball today?
It's amazing.
Incredible, right?
It's amazing. Right now, it's overshadowing men's basketball. I think women's basketball right now, it's at its peak, and it's just going to continue to grow. Like, the talented players that are playing right now, it's incredible. Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, these top players, Flajay Johnson. The NIL deals, like, it's special now. I'm thinking back, if I had NIL deals when I was at Syracuse, man, oh man,
it'd be crazy.
Yeah, and they're really capitalizing on that, and it's special. It's really nice to watch.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm just happy to see it evolve.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
beautiful. Yeah.
But I know for sure, 100%. Like if they was offering those deals during your time, during your run,
Forget about it.
man,
Yeah.
it'd have been nuts.
Yeah, it would. It surely would. I would have took full advantage of
Of course,
it.
of
Yeah.
course. Any street ball? I know you had a street ball run.
hmm
I can't remember who you played for, but I definitely remember seeing you playing in a few of the women's leagues throughout the city.
Yeah, I played for Exodus.
Yeah.
Played for No Limit. Who else? Played for the Angels.
Yeah.
Played for all those teams. So all pretty much Exodus was also my AAU team, but when we played in the summer at like West Forest,
Yeah.
the park tournaments,
Right.
De Niro was my coach.
Yeah.
And yeah, we used to run the town. So now it's No Limit. No Limit is
No Limit got it.
Yeah, No Limit is killing right now.
Yeah.
Nikki Avery and Renee, Tiny and Big Love.
Yeah.
They're killing it right now. They hold the
They
crown.
got it.
Yeah.
They
But
running.
Footprints also they coming up.
Footprint. Shout out to my boy Mark.
They created a team to pretty much take the crown in New York City. So it's interesting now. It's pretty fun to watch them now.
Right.
I would love to play in the summer now. However, I just don't have time. And my knees are worn out. So
Yeah.
but it's fun to watch them.
Okay. Let's talk about your academy real quick. Slinky Academy. What exactly is it? You touched on it a little bit, but I just want you to elaborate on it for those who probably just tuning in now.
So it's basically a program where I have like basketball events, mainly for young girls, because I feel like there's not a lot of programs for them.
Yeah.
So I have like mini camps, I have mini events where I do like training. Also, I haven't incorporated it yet, but the goal is to incorporate mentorship.
Nice.
With it, where we have like female coaches or female players. I also believe there's not enough female players coming back and giving back to the community and to the younger players, and I think that's important that we should do that. I think the young players, they need us. So just having that mentorship program for them.
Right.
Training, basketball events where we have like different tournaments. I want to incorporate 3-on-3 tournaments.
Yeah.
Just to teach them, how to move without the ball and
Right.
different fundamentals and skills to be a good player.
Dope. How would you say, is it challenging, the training part of it, like teaching young players who may not be they may not be developed yet, but you're trying to get them to that point?
It's not challenging the training part, it's challenging the coaching part. So for the training part, they are young players that want to get better.
Yeah.
So they're listening. They're doing what it takes
They
to
locked
get better,
in. Yeah.
to develop. That's what they want.
Right.
Coaching, on the other hand, younger players, you have a mix. You have players that want to get better. You have players that you got to push them to do the work. You got players that complain.
Yeah.
So on the training aspect, it's way easier because they want it.
Yeah.
Coaching, on the other hand,
part.
it's more of a stress factor to get everyone on board on the same page. So
Right. So what, I know you said you're currently coaching as well. How's that going? Like, and
It's
what
cool.
like age group?
Yeah, I'm coaching at my prep school, so I'm the athletic director, and I also coach.
Nice.
But it's not. These are not players that want to play.
Okay.
In the future, they just want to have fun during high school.
Okay.
So it's a fun experience for them, more so than the development.
Got it.
But even with coaching them, it's like, okay, are you guys gonna listen today, or like what is gonna be the temperature for today? Are we gonna get better, or are we just gonna goof around?
What's the are you guys looking for incoming players? Like, what's the recruitment like?
Unfortunately, not at my school.
Okay.
We don't recruit players.
Got it.
So we get kids that come in if they want to play. If they have some talent, you make the team.
Okay.
My main position at the school is athletic director.
Yeah.
So I manage the teams and manage the coaches.
Gotcha.
The budgeting aspect of the athletics department,
Right.
and stuff like that. So not so much coaching. However, I would love to get back into my training.
Right.
With kids that want to
because you can possibly get a young group and bring them through and run
that's more that's show. My passion when it comes to that.
Okay
you gotta want it. I'm like growing up when I was getting coached by these coaches, like I worked hard, like I didn't make no excuses, like I got it done. And it's a different time now. You really have to like kind of like force young athletes to work harder, and
it's crazy.
Yeah, and I'm not in the ball game for that. Like I don't have the patience.
I would I call it practice. I have 15 kids on my 7th grade team, and I call it practice and 7 show.
Okay.
7 to show up, and then game day, you can only suit up 12. You got 15 guys there.
And the ones don't show, they asking why can't I suit up or why can't I play?
It's nuts.
Well, you're not showing up to practice, you're not putting work in. So why do you expect? You know what I mean?
It's crazy.
And then you got the parents. It's just different now. I don't have the patience.
We talk about that all day long.
Oh man, it's different.
It's very different. It's very different.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this. You do a lot, you know, mom, work, go to school. Coach at the school. What do you do for yourself outside of that? Like, do you get any time to you for you?
Not as much as I want. But I guess I'm so accustomed to it now. I'm so accustomed to being a mom. Like, so I don't even notice sometimes when I don't have the time. But when I do, like I hang out with friends. You know, I do something, I go out and hang out, but I don't really like, I don't know. I don't notice that I don't have as much free time as I used to. I'm just so like happy to be a mom and, you know, make sure my son is good. I do a lot of stuff with him during my free time.
Nice.
If that makes sense. But yeah, like,
okay.
Yeah.
You gotta give me your top 5 hoopers
of all time.
Yes.
Wow. Okay, I'm just gonna go from my era.
Yeah.
All right, I'll say. All right, here we go. Michael Jordan. Am I mixing this male and female, or am I doing the male group and then a female?
Let's go 5 male. Let's go 5 female.
Okay, so Michael Jordan, Steph Curry, Magic Johnson, Shaq. Trying to do different positions, and now I'll say KD just because.
Yeah, KD.
Yeah, that's my top 5.
Okay.
Females. Swing Cash, Lisa Leslie, Candace Parker, Epiphany Prince. Oh wow, one more. I'm gonna say Angel McCoughtry.
Okay. Yeah. All right, cool. Now let me ask you this. Almighty Force Ajax Park. You knowledgeable about it?
Yeah.
All right. You knowledgeable about the neighborhood hoopers? Top 5 neighborhood guys.
Oh no, I'm not that knowledgeable. I'm gonna say Shahi. Dot. Who else? Can you think of someone?
Don't put me in this.
Wow. I used to go to those games faithfully too. Help me out here. I don't know. I don't. It's
if it's only 2, it's 2. That's it.
I guess it's only 2 I remember. Unfortunately,
that's fine. All right. They definitely was up there.
Yeah.
If you can describe what it looked like to you as a person coming to the park, watching games and stuff like that. So for those who might not be familiar with it, what did it look like to you?
It was a vibe. Like it was something I look forward to.
Yeah.
When Ajax had games, I would ride my bike over there and I would watch the games. And now Lincoln Park has games. Yeah. It's just exciting to watch, and I'm happy. Even for like Lincoln Park with Nike and the Parks versus Parks.
Yeah,
like
that's dope.
it's fascinating to watch in the
Yeah.
neighborhood. And I think it's really good. It's really good for the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How important would you say youth sports is?
It's imperative. It's
Agreed.
imperative. Youth sports is not the same. I'm not gonna lie to you, but I just feel
it's
like
different.
it's imperative to have keeping kids motivated.
Okay.
Whether they like sports or not,
Mhm.
just getting them involved in something. I think it's imperative for these kids. Keeping them out of trouble, keeping them focused on a goal.
Right.
I think youth sports is the top. It's like number one.
Now let me ask you this, because you're familiar with this, and because you're a coach and because you played, so you had to experience this at some point in your career, reclassing. What's your thoughts on that? Do you think it's something that it's a good or a bad thing?
I think it's good. I reclassed.
Okay.
So I reclassed my final year in high school.
Mhm.
I think it's a good thing.
Yeah.
In terms of it depends on what you reclass for. If
True.
it's sports wise, I think it was good for me to understand the importance of navigating academics and sports.
Yeah.
And it helped me a lot. Like I said, my first few years at August Martin, I wasn't focused. I needed a reclass year. I think if I didn't have a reclass year, I would have struggled in college.
Got it.
So I think for the young players that need it, the young student athletes that need it, I think it's beneficial.
All right. I'm thinking. I like that you explained that. You know what I'm saying, because everybody has different views on it.
Yeah.
I mean, I look at it as in some instances, like for instance, I mentioned I have an 8th grade team. Well, I had an 8th grade team. They're all freshmen now in high school, and they competed against, some of the best 8th graders in the city.
Okay.
My boys go up to the 9th grade, and now I have a 7th grade team who's next up. But there's some 8th graders that's still in the 8th grade, and it's very hard to compete against that. It has nothing to do with academics. It's all, to I don't know if it's to help them get into the high schools that they want to get into, but I just look at that as a big disadvantage where you have when they're reclassing at that age. I say you should do it. Late.
I don't agree. Yeah,
like
I was
later.
12th grade.
That's what I'm saying.
12. I think reclassing in like middle school, I don't understand that. What's the reason for? I didn't even know you can do that.
Yeah. So it's you have to actually do it before you get in high school.
And this is because they want to get in a certain high school, or
it can be for whatever. It could be for that reason. It could be to stand out amongst their class that they're now in, so that when they move up, it's a little easier. That's how it looks.
I'm not a fan of that.
That's just how it
I wasn't
looks.
familiar with that part.
Okay.
More towards like high school.
Yeah.
Reclassifying to prepare for college.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
And I'm not a fan of that. I don't think that's
it's a little.
And I feel like as parents why would you allow that?
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's strange.
It has to really make sense. You reclassifying just to stand out. I don't know.
I think they believe it'll give them a better opportunity at having a great high school career and get into the college.
Maybe it's me, but I feel like high school careers shouldn't really matter. Especially if your kid is playing outside of high school. Like if your kid is playing AAU and they're in the avenues that they should be, and they're getting that recognition that way.
Right.
Like high school, like you can play on a good high school team, great, but I don't think it should be like all in all. Like I gotta play at this top high school. I don't know. Maybe that's me.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm explaining it wrong, but I just feel like you shouldn't put all your eggs in a high school.
Yeah. I'm with you.
Like, do you get what I'm saying?
Nah, I get what you're saying. I feel
like that's strange.
I agree. It's very strange, but
there's some really good players that don't go to great high schools, like great sports high schools.
Right.
And they do just fine. I think people really put a lot of energy into the high school sports.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay.
Did you keep up with PSAL this year? Did you see all of the weird things that was taking place?
I did hear about that one school for the championship game. They couldn't play because they were ineligible.
Yeah.
Like, how is that even possible?
So they had a 20-year-old kid on their roster.
That's crazy. I don't understand that. And I'm assuming this kid reclassified in middle school. Like
that's the thing. Like they ain't really mapping it all out, and then it backfires in the long run, and then we're stuck with old kids playing with young kids.
Yeah, that's not good.
It's terrible. That's what AAU has become. I mean, that's what AAU has become.
It's not the same. I know it's not the same. Like when I was playing that,
it's very different. It's very different.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Let me ask you, social media, do you think it's helping or hurting young student athletes today?
It's hurting them. It depends. Let me go back.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of student athletes, I should say, thrive on highlights.
Yeah.
And people watch highlights and automatically think that player is good because of their highlights.
You're just
really and truly, you go watch them play is like, I've seen highlights on social media where they're shooting free throws. Who shoots free throws in the highlight? Like, it's ridiculous. But then you have social media for players that are using that avenue to gain NIL,
right,
and to gain like endorsements, and that way, cool,
makes sense.
But these fake highlights trying to show that you're really good and you just really not. Like, I'm not a fan of that. Like,
yeah, I feel you.
Yeah.
I just a couple more questions and then we're gonna wrap up. What advice do you have for parents of student athletes? And then what advice would you give to the actual student athlete?
Well, for parents, let them be student athletes. Like, stop getting too emotionally involved in their development on their teams. Let them be coached. I've witnessed parents get upset because their kids are not playing. Just let them go through the experience, go through the moment, do the work to deserve the playing time or whatever they have to do to deserve to be out there. Stop getting too involved. Another thing for parents, be educated on the AAU system and how it works, because some AAU teams or some programs, they charge a ton of money. And at the end of the day, the kid gets nothing out of it. So you have AAU teams where the kid goes there, they play for 4 years, they pay thousands of dollars a year, not including meals and travel. Parents still got to pay for that. And at the end of their AAU career, they don't have a college. They have nothing. Right. So really be educated on where you're putting your child, who's coaching your child, and how they can help, because AAU is expensive. And if I'm paying $10,000 to $40,000 for my kid to pay AAU, they better have a scholarship.
Right.
Multiple scholarships, not just one.
Yeah, a lot of opportunities. Yeah.
And there's a lot of programs that are just taking money and really not helping the kid, not developing the kid. And that's just crazy. So parents really need to be mindful of that and educate themselves on where their kids are going. Advice for the student athlete: do the work. Don't take any shortcuts. Do the work. It will pay off. My coach used to say, hard work beats talent when talent don't work hard. You can be untalented like me. I remember I couldn't catch the ball, but I did the work. Do the work to get to where you need to be. Do not complain. Just really do the work. Be coachable. Oh my gosh, that's a big one. Listen to your coaches. Listen to your parents. That translates in the world. When you go play in college, when outside of life, just be open to accepting feedback. Everything doesn't need a response. So yeah, that's what I would say.
Still great advice. Great advice. One of the things that I always ask the guests is to leave our viewers with some motivational words, something that could be understood from a young person to an adult, that they can it could be useful to them. They can carry on with them throughout their journeys.
Be coachable. Be open to feedback. Stay educated. What else I got? impossible is nothing. Don't think something is impossible. Really, just do the work. I'm big on just doing the work, and if you do the work and you put the time in, everything will pay off for you.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Real quick, do you have any dates for your upcoming camps?
Not yet.
Okay.
But the goal is to get something started up in the summer.
Okay.
When I was doing it a few years back, it was in New York and Syracuse, upstate.
Yeah.
The goal is to move it to New Jersey.
Nice.
I'm still trying to do some stuff at Syracuse as well.
Okay.
But definitely check out my social media pages. I will post that information. And yeah, hopefully this summer we're up and running.
Yeah.
Get it back going.
I'm gonna you get it to me and I'll share it and stuff like that.
Definitely.
I'm gonna get the word across and stuff.
Okay.
If you had to recommend that someone comes on the show that you think should be interviewed, someone in your contacts.
Oh, in my contacts.
Yeah.
I was gonna say her. Let me not be. In my contacts, KD. No, let me stop. He is not in my contacts. I wish.
That'll take the show next level.
Another women's basketball player.
Okay.
Erica Morrow.
Okay.
She's doing some great things in the city. I think she's like head of PSAL now.
Yeah.
She was coaching at a university prior to.
Nice.
She's a really good basketball player.
Okay.
She's a good one.
All right. But
yeah.
Say no more. We're gonna try to set that one up.
Yeah.
With that said, I appreciate you.
Of course.
Thank you for coming on the show.
No
Know
problem.
what I mean, you know, you're super important to us, to our hood. Did a lot of great things, and I asked you to come here just so we can shed light on what you did.
Thank you. I appreciate it. This was fun. I like this. This was really cool. I appreciate you inviting me.
No doubt. No doubt. With that said, we're going to wrap up. This is the AMF show. Coach Javon, and we out.